Okay, in an exclusive interview with CNBC, French Finance Minister Christine Lagarde says that Europe needs better fiscal consolidation before it can issue joint euro bonds. Stefan spoke to Christine Lagarde. He's actually in Madrid now for us, covering another angle on sovereign debt, the Spanish angle. But let's talk about this Christine Lagarde interview, Stefan. Interesting that she says that the introduction of euro bonds would dilute the strength of some eurozone countries, basically meaning that Germany would have to pay a higher interest rate on its debt, and that's not something that the centre of Europe is going to agree to in a hurry.
Absolutely. It's not something that France is ready to accept. It's not something that Germany will be ready to accept. And once again, Christine Lagarde confirmed that France has the same view as Germany regarding Eurobonds. But there is maybe something a little bit different, because she thinks that on the long term, that could be an option. But first, we will have to go through a fiscal consolidation and also a better coordination in Europe. That's the answer from Christine Lagarde. Interesting points also regarding France. She believes that the AAA rating is not at risk, and also she's ready to announce additional austerity measures in the country in order to reach the deficit target, because this is an absolute priority for the French government. These comments were made ahead of the announcement later this morning by Nicolas Sarkozy of the official French agenda for its G20 presidency.
The Eurozone debt taken as a whole and the Eurozone deficit taken as a whole, because everybody regards us as a region, fine. We have a common currency, let's look at our common numbers. Well, our debt and deficit are lower compared with that of the United States, compared with that of Japan. Now, if you look, you sort of focus now within the zone, there are countries that perform a lot better. And what we need to do is to reinforce the stability of the zone itself, so that investors, when they look at euro sovereign debt, feel confident that not only do we have a common currency, but we have an integrated economic policy which is capable of delivering results.
But why then you're not supporting the creation of Eurobonds?
If you do that, you put once again the cart before the horses. When the euro was organized 10 years ago, it was a fantastic move, but it should have been consolidated earlier on with common foundations. Better fiscal consolidation on a eurozone basis, better integration of our economic policies, a preventive arm to our joint economic policy, in addition to the corrective arm that was encapsulated, if you wish, in the Stability and Growth Pact. Now, we need to fix that. We need to really organize the foundations, that economic integration that we want. The fact that we look in anticipation rather than in reaction to the failure or the defects or the gaps between us. The fact that we have a stronger discipline, the fact that we have effective sanctions. If you start putting in place Eurobonds, what you do in effect is you dilute the strength, the solidity of some of the members without having integrated and consolidated fiscally and economically. I think we need to do that first. Then we can think about the Eurobonds.
So not on the short term, but you believe that it could be a solution on the long term?
If we have consolidated the foundations.
Let's talk about the banking sector. Do you feel that the new stress test will be more credible than the last one?
The next European stress tests have to be more credible. They have to be better communicated. And that is also part of the picture, because if we want to restore confidence and build our stability, we need to be safe and secure with our banking system and with our banks. So we have to go through testing, just like in the United States, for instance, as will happen in the course of 2011, and our tests have to be credible and well communicated.
How and when do you think they will be conducted? You recently mentioned before the summer?
Yeah, I hope it can be completed before the end of the semester. the first semester.
And as you can see, I'm in Madrid. That's the Madrid Stock Exchange behind me, because today, this week, the government is expected to announce a shake-up of its financial system with a restructuring of its cajas, the local savings banks. It's been announced by the deputy prime minister over the weekend. What is likely to happen at this stage? Spain is going to change the law to authorize a partial nationalization of the cajas, and then the FROB, which is the restructuring fund for the banking sector in Spain, would inject some money and buy some direct stakes in these banks. How much money would be needed? That's the main question. The consensus is around 25 to 50 billion euros. It's a huge amount of money. 50 billion euros account for nearly 5% of the Spanish GDP, and that could jeopardize the deficit target for Spain this year, which is at 6%. We are expecting an announcement this week. There's no exact calendar, and this is why we are here in Spain this week. With that, Maitri, I send it back to you.